Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to another edition of Inside the Headset. We're at round 2 of the playoffs, and I've got on the phone with me the head coach of the Purple Wave of Christian Brothers High School, Coach Thomas McDaniel. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, last talk to you, it was right before Halloween. You ended up winning that game, and then So you've been off since then, so just pick it up from there, Coach. You take it from there.
Yeah, first of all, hey, what I got to do to get them shirts?
Oh, I'll mail you one. I will. I'll send your wife. I'll send you a text afterwards, and it's on its way. I'll get it out to. I've got some. I got some XLs and I got some Ls.
Yeah, I need an XL, buddy. Yeah, go and get one. Go and put one in the mail.
All right, I appreciate it. I'll get one out.
Yeah, I never knew I'd want to put walk around with your mug on my body, but we'll go with it. But anyway, let's see. So yeah, we played MUS 2 weeks ago. It's our big rival, and oldest rivalry in the state of Tennessee is one of the oldest rivalries in the country, and really been looking forward to seeing what that rivalry looked like and the atmosphere and all that goes along with it. And it didn't disappoint. It was a great night. MUS has a beautiful stadium, beautiful campus. It was great, to go over there and obviously get the win, but really just to see that rivalry firsthand and, honestly very humbling from the standpoint that, it's a blessing, man, to see as a coach and being able to do what I love and having, had a dream job for X number of years at Oakland and now being at Christian Brothers to see a different rivalry, have a different perspective on one of the best rivalries in the state, and having been a part of such a great rivalry in the Oakland Riverdale game for so long, and now seeing the Christian Brothers MUS rivalry, it's pretty humbling to be able to be a part of both of them and experience that. So it was just a great night, man. We played well. It was a hard-fought game, won 17-7. MUS played very well. We made a few more plays when it mattered, and our kids fought their tails off. But it was a great game, a lot of respect, mutual respect, a great rivalry, unbelievable atmosphere. Our crowd support was phenomenal, and I think I told you before, but we have a very social, atmosphere at Christian Brothers with our fans and student body. It's a bit to do on Friday night, so there's a lot of pregame tailgating. And when we got there, we pulled up on the bus at 6 o'clock, into the parking lot, and most of our student section was already there, and our parents and fans. So just a cool thing, man, to be a part of and see just all the history and the tradition and just the rivalry itself. And we were lucky to come away with the win, but like I said, played well enough to make a few more plays than they did, and very fortunate to win 17-7.
Did you feel like you got challenged?
Absolutely. It was 0-0. First of all, the defensive struggle early. It was the type of game that you should, it was every bit of what you would have seen in a Oakland Blackman game or a typical Riverdale Oakland game or whatever. I mean, it was two teams very evenly matched. As I told you, I thought they were both pretty close, and we were both 7-2 coming into the game. It was for the region championship, and it was 0-0 early in the second quarter. Cornerback came up, made a big play, and they fumbled the ball. We scooped it and scored. We've just been very opportunistic on defense. Very proud of the way we've handled growing defensively, especially in the turnover game. We've done a great job of going after and getting the ball. So we had a linebacker scoop it up, score. Made it 7-0. We went back down the field and kicked the field goal, make it 10-0 at half. And our defense, so they're 4 or 5 wide spread, scored a lot of points, and to hold an offense that productive to no points in the first half was pretty outstanding. Came back out the second half and got the ball down the field and scored, made it 17-0. We really felt we had all the control. Stopped them, got the ball back inside the 30 again, and really felt like the game was fixing to get out of hand, or at least out of reach, so to speak. And they made a big play. Quarterback got hit in the mouth, and we fumbled the ball. and ended up putting us, in bad field position. I think it was like 3rd and 49 or something like that, something crazy. Anyway, they ended up taking the between the quick kick and the penalty, they ended up getting the ball on the 30 and went in and scored on the short field, make it 17-7 in the fourth. And at that point, we just kind of hung on, ran the clock out I guess old-fashioned. I would call it Gary Rankin fashion, that we just kind of when we got 17-0, I just kind of put the brakes on the offense. And we were playing so well on defense. We were just, I hate to say it this way, but we were playing not to lose, just kind of hold on and win the game. And ended up winning 17-7. Defensively, just played outstanding, and we made enough plays on offense in key situations that we put ourselves in position to win. So anyway, great game, great night, and it was an awesome experience for me personally to be able to see the rivalry firsthand.
Since the loss to Christian Brothers St. Louis, which was your last game, right? That was your last loss, right?
That was my last one. Yeah, that was the last time we lost, yes.
Okay. Going back to then, and then just leading up to now, Coach Mack, where have you gotten better? Where do you feel like, I look at this team, we were here, we lost that game, and if you took this Christian Brothers team back and put them back into the arena at that point in time at St. Louis, do you feel like your game would? You think the outcome? You think progression has come that much?
It's funny you ask that, because I was driving home tonight from practice and thinking about we've got just an unbelievable challenge in front of us Friday night.
We'll get to that in a minute.
We'll talk about it in a second, but I think we left LaSalle, which LaSalle is one of the best teams in the country, and we lost to a better football team than us. But on that day in September, I think our kids learned that we have to start paying attention to details on a whole nother level. And I really think our kids, first of all, have done nothing but buy into what I've tried to preach, and our coaching staff has done a phenomenal job of changing the culture. But, there's only so many things you can correct at one time. And
you can't get bigger, stronger, and faster at that point.
Right. But at that time, there were so many things to fix that I think some of the real particulars about plays just got, kind of pushed to the side, and those things showed up against them. So we focused the next 3 weeks on, all right, we got to get better at the details, and we got to learn how to fight. Really learn how to fight when it's not easy, because we had too many easy games early.
Right.
When we played CBC, our kids fought. I mean, they really fought. We played with a lot more meticulous attitude on the details that we needed, and 21-21 with 4 minutes to go in the game. That I think they were on a 21 or 22 game win streak, state champions, all that stuff. They're a great football team, on paper a lot more talented than us. But we took them to the wire. They won 28-21. But I think after that game, our kids really learned that, hey, we're good enough to play with anybody. And I think even though we lost the game, it was a big boost in our confidence that, number one, what the coaches are selling, we're going to buy into. And even though I thought they already did that, I still think the proof's in the pudding. You got to have results. And I don't think our kids learned that night. Again, we have a different kind of kid. I mean, I'm not saying any
No.
Kids are kids, but we have kids that are very in tune to what the coach is saying, and there's a level of respect there, and they are they're going to try to, they're pleasers. And I just think that night that we learned that, hey, coaches are telling us this, we're seeing the results, even though we lost. They just took something that I think was a very positive, and we've been playing very confident football. Where are we at now? And that's kind of what getting to your question. Driving home tonight, I'm thinking, after LaSalle, we learned that we need to be more detailed. I thought going into the CBC, we learned what it meant to really fight when everything's on the line. And we put it all together against MUS. Even though we didn't play particularly well against MUS, we found a way to win. And I think, I take a lot of satisfaction knowing that our kids at least found a way to win. There's a lot to be said for just finding a way to grind it out. And, we're in about as good a place as we can be. Talent, coaching, work ethic, toughness, all those things are going to come together, and your team is going to peak. And, every team can only go so far. I don't know what our limit is right now, but I do know that I feel good about where we're at Friday night. I mean, do we have what it takes to compete with an Ensworth, Absolutely. I mean, early in the year, I would have said we're nowhere near ready to be doing that, but we are. We've come a long way, and our kids are completely sold out to what we're doing. They believe they believe in the teammates, they believe in the coaches. And, I think a lot of comfort in knowing that when we go out Friday night, our kids are going to fight their tails off for the helmet, for our school, and for each other. And you can be, to me now, as I've gotten a little older, you can be at peace when you know that. And so I know that we're going to be prepared. I think our kids understand we have a tremendous challenge, but they also are, got the utmost confidence. And honestly, that was huge for us, Stuart, because coming into this year, I just didn't feel like when I got there, the kids had much confidence. They were very, I don't know if repressed is the right word, but very reserved, standoffish, didn't know how to show emotion, didn't know how to get excited. And I believe in playing with excitement and enthusiasm and passion, and we really kind of bought into that. And kids are having fun. And it's just the same thing as at practice. I told our kids tonight after practice, I don't want to get beat because I'm not ready to quit practice. I mean, I know I don't practice per se, but obviously I have to do a lot of things preparation-wise, and I just enjoy being at practice with our guys. They're very fun to be around, and it's just it's honestly it's a dream because it's just they're self-motivated, and I really think we're peaking at the right time. As you and I talked about before, you've seen enough football. It's all about when you hit your stride, when you're at your peak. And, I really feel like for us, this is the best Christian Rose team we can put on the field for a challenge like this. We're not banged up. We're very healthy. We're mentally in a great place. And this is the best I think we have to offer an opponent right now. Now, we have to go out and execute. I mean, obviously, you can be great and then on any given night lay an egg. You know that. But,
oh, yeah.
But we got to put it together. But I think leading into the game right now, I just feel like our kids are in a great frame of mind, very positive. I by no means know that we're I don't know what the word is. We're very confident that we can compete with Ensworth. I think, just the name itself, I think, can be intimidating to some people, and for good reason. You go back and look at what they've done historically over the last 10 or so years, and 9 years, whatever the school's been in existence as a high school. I mean, it's pretty remarkable what they've been able to accomplish. But I think our kids respect that, understand it's going to be a great challenge. But I think they're excited about it too.
Before we talk about them, you mentioned something about playing with a lot of passion and playing with and rolling through a play 110%. People do not know how important that is. That when you're playing with a feel-good attitude, how many good things truly happen to you.
Well, no, there's no question. One of the weird dynamics, I guess, that I've had to deal with is when you're dealing with the culture of a school like we have, there's always a level of reverence and respect throughout the day where, every classroom has to be open with prayer, and every kid's wearing a tie, and every kid's on a laptop, and when the teacher talks, you better be quiet. And there's just so
shirt tucked in, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am,
yeah,
no ma'am.
Yes, yeah, and they're so just kind of ingrained to being robotic that to ask them to, hey, when we make a good play, I want everybody running down there and celebrating, that they're not used to that. And we've really, I've tried to let the reins off a little bit, let them have fun. It's taken some time, but we're hitting our stride there. And that, honestly, for me, that's one of the proudest things I've seen as far as our team. I think our coaches, including myself, we have really stressed the idea of let's have some fun. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah.
Let's play for one another. And
that's what you work for. I mean, the Friday night, that's the show. I mean, everybody's got to understand.
Right. And so it's just a lot of, like you said, it's a lot of hard work, and you're very limited on the times you can have fun with it. So when it happens, you better enjoy it. And I've said many times, I don't really enjoy Fridays that much because it's stressful. I want to do the best job I can. I want our coaching staff to do the best job we can to put them in position to win.
Right.
And it's a lot of stress. But when we won last Friday night, it's one of the first times that I ever really just took a deep breath after a ball game and just let it all out. I mean, I ran over to our student section and was screaming. I was grabbing kids and hugging them because we had played well. we didn't play perfect. We did a lot of things poorly, but you know what? We found a way to win. And our kids, there's something to be said for just getting everybody to believe in that mindset. I mean, I know it sounds petty, but I mean, we drove over with our pads on. I mean, we went over for business, and we drove over with our pads on.
It was a business trip.
I told them on Thursday we're going to get back on the bus and drive back with our pads on because it's business. And we're celebrating, and kids are telling me, you know, Coach, let's get on the bus. We're getting out of here. We still got our pads on. I mean, it's just good to see, you know, everybody in tune to the same message and wanting to be together. And I just feel like there's no ego. I mean, our tailback's a really good player. He's up for Mr. Football. He's very deserving of the award. But he'd be the first to tell you that he, you know, he didn't have a great game against MUS. We didn't perform in the running game like he would have wanted to, or our offensive line. But our quarterback made some throws when he needed to. And you know what? He kept pounding it. Finally, he busted a 30-yard for a touchdown. So, I mean, it's just all the things that come together at once. And like I said, we just need it. The kids need that. They just need.
Oh, they do.
They need that confidence. They need to enjoy the experience of it. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to really appreciate the relationships more. And I have relationships that go back all the way to my time at Riverdale. I have many relationships from the guys that I coached at Oakland. But the relationships are what matter. I mean, I think, you know, the championships, making runs and all that stuff are great. But I mean, as crazy as it sounds, I was just thinking about the seasons and the games get mixed up. I was thinking about the Blackman game 2 years ago when we got beat in the quarterfinals at Oakland. And I remember the guys that had been with us for 4 years and paid so many dues and worked their butts off. I remember sitting on our back practice field hugging all these kids that are crying. And that's what matters, man. That's the stuff that's good. That's the good stuff. That's because they invest so much and they did it together. And, you know, they fell short, but you know what? Those relationships, those last. And it's just good stuff, man. What makes it, I mean, really you lose sight of it. I've lost sight of it far too many times.
Yep.
You appreciate it a lot more in the hindsight because, you get a group of guys come together and try to fight for common cause. Most of the time you don't end up being successful. The ultimate goal, obviously, is the state championship. But, you know, I take a lot of pride and satisfaction in knowing that we're able to work at something together. And I think that's what really matters.
Kumbaya, let's put that to the side. It's now time for the hammer and the nail. One of you is going to be the nail, and one of you is going to be the hammer here in about a couple of days. Let's talk about this next opponent. Coach Ricky Bowers, you know, interesting guy, but you're going against a guy that he's going to fight right up until the last second, and kids need to know that, man, he's going to come at you with a lot of energy Friday night. It's different.
Yeah, it's different. I think our kids understand that 2 years ago. They were beaten by Ensworth in the playoffs. Last year they scrimmaged them in the preseason scrimmage. I think our kids are somewhat familiar with them.
Yeah.
But again, you can't deny the success that they've had. They have a great coaching staff. They always have tremendous talent on the field. I have a lot of respect for them. I mean, they like I said, they're one of the few teams that you look at and you just the model of consistency. You know, you can make excuses or point fingers to why they've been successful, but you can't deny their success. I mean, you know, you can say what you want to about them.
It is what it is.
They win. Yeah,
you still got to coach them. You still got to coach them.
They're very well coached. So, and that's what I was going to say. If you really appreciate watching a team lie down and look at the details, here's what I can tell you. When they lie down on the offensive line, every offensive lineman, one hand's on the knee, the other elbow's cocked back, and when they say down, those hands snap down together. You can tell about a team by how they run up to the line from the huddle. You can tell about.
Donnie Carter always said that. Donnie Carter said a team that breaks the huddle and runs up to the line is a team ready to bust you in the mouth.
And you can tell that with them. You can tell with them on defense that they play with great hands and they're going to squeeze ball. They're just very well coached. And again, people will say, well, they have all the benefits of this or they have all these resources. Well, that's fine. They do a tremendous job, and we have our hands full. But like I said, I know I'm personally excited about it. I know our kids are excited about it. You know, obviously we have a history. You know, I have a history when we played them at Oakland, but it's an exciting opportunity for us. I mean, we need to win a playoff game at Christian Brothers.
Yeah.
And what better way to do so than at home in front of our fans, which are phenomenal, and do it against the monster from Nashville. You can put again. I don't even know what the record is, Stuart, because it's irrelevant. I can tell you this: they're playing several sophomores. They had a lot of hiccups early because they had growing pains. They are a good football team. They're big. They're physical. They're disciplined. They're well coached. They have a dynamic tailback that won the 100 meters in the track. They got a senior quarterback that's a tough kid. Reminds me a lot of the young man at Blackman now. Plays on defense, too. So the quarterback's a tough guy. They got a young tailback, 200-pound kid that's a bruiser. They got two tight ends that are about 6'5", 220 pounds each. So they got a nose guard that's 320 pounds. I mean, you just look at them across the board, and they got players. And
they will not let the brakes off. If they get a score, they're going to go, and they're going to go as hard as they can, Coach.
Right. And I think there's an aura about them. I mean, that's what happens when you have success at the level of which they've had it. There's a mystique. Yeah, there's a mystique about seeing Ensworth, and I mean, our kids cannot let that affect them. But to be honest with you, where we're at right now, I don't think it will. I think our kids are ready to go toe to toe with them. Like I said, I feel like we're prepared. It's going to be a challenge for sure. But I think it's one we're ready for, and we're excited about seeing where we are on the measuring stick. And obviously, if you want to kind of see where you're at, Ensworth is a great place to start. So it'll definitely be difficult, but I think our kids are ready for it.
Well, you love this 11-man battle. I mean, there's nobody loves it better than 11 individual fights on the field.
No, it's going to be a test of I mean, look, I know their offensive coordinator well. I have nothing but respect for him. He and I, have become buddies over the years, and they're going to want to run the football. They want to be physical. They want to demoralize you, and obviously that's what we want to try to do. I'm hoping that we can match physicality with them, but again, we still are learning and growing and figuring out who we are, even though we're 12 weeks into the year. And but I think our team feels like that we have prepared for this challenge. We're ready for this opportunity, and I think they're really excited about seeing how we match up with one of the best teams, in all classifications in the state of Tennessee, and what they are as a program. That's kind of it's what I know that for me personally, that's what I'm hoping we can do here at Christian Brothers is be a year in year out contender, and what better way to get that ball rolling in that direction than to beat right now one of the most consistent teams in all the state.
Well, let's wrap it up. 7 o'clock over at Christian Brothers High School. Ensworth Tigers will be visiting, and y'all join up and help Coach McDaniel move on to the third round of the playoffs. Y'all be there.